Hey guys, Caleb here from Peak Strength and Fitness, coming at you again today to talk to you about positive self-talk. Okay, so I have the opportunity to talk to a lot of people every day about their daily lives, things that are going on, how things are going, what's happening, and a reoccurring thing that comes up is negative self-talk. So a lot of us get in the habit of talking to ourselves in a negative manner. Our thoughts is turned into actions. These actions turn into the way that we think about ourselves. Negative self-talk pops up on a regular basis. It affects us on things that we're doing inside the gym, but also, more importantly, affects things in our daily lives with our families and in our careers and all that kind of stuff. So our goal through our training is to make you physically and mentally healthy. Mental part is the part that often gets overlooked. We think about training as just making ourselves, look better, in better shape, change our body composition, change how things are on the inside. But a big part of our training and what we want to accomplish too is to make ourselves mentally healthy and positive. So what we want to work on is, as we're working through this process, is changing our thought process and change the way that we think about ourselves and our habits and how we think about ourselves. So we want to start changing those things to positive things, that we are worth it, we are good people. We want to take these negative thoughts and just eliminate them from our lives and our entire thought process, which sounds easy, but it's not an easy thing to do. So it's going to take consistent work and mental, being aware of the way that we're thinking about ourselves and the way that we're going about our days. So if we talked about ourselves in our minds in a negative manner, negative self-talk, those things become negative emotions. Then we start to believe those negative emotions, and that gives us a negative view on ourselves. And we start to believe that we are the things that are happening in our minds, which isn't actually true. So what we want to do is start changing that thought process. We want to start looking at things in a positive way. So we want to start thinking about things that make us happy, make us smile, that we have a good time, things that we're good at doing, that we do really well. So our challenge for you is going to be to help us change this thought process. The way we want to do that is, first thing I want you to do is I want you to get out a pen and paper. I want you to, if you like pencils, number 2, that's fine. Get out a number 2 pencil. Okay, but we're going to write down 10 things that you're good at. All right. So 10 positive things about yourself. So sit down and make that list. Some of you might take you 10 seconds to make that list. Some of us, we might sit down and get to number 3 or 4 and then we get lost, right? It's okay if it takes 30 minutes. Think about it. If you need some help, go ask a family member or a friend. They'll help you out. So go ahead and write down 10 things that are positive about you, that you're good at. Okay? There are 10. I believe it. Okay? So once you get those 10, I want you to memorize those 10. The reason I want you to memorize them is because every time a negative thought pops in your head, every time you start to get into that habit of negative self-talk, I want you to think about 3 of those things that you're good at. That's 3 of those list of 10. But I don't just want you to think about them. I want you to start to put them into a sentence. So I want you to tell yourself, every time that you start to get into that negative mind frame, I want you to go in and pick 3 of those things that you're good at and make a sentence out of them. So if you're good at baseball, start to tell yourself, I am good at baseball, right? Make these things a sentence. I do have good breath. I do whatever those things are, okay? So I want you to give yourself 3 sentences that you say to yourself out of those 10 every time you have a negative thought, all right? And then over time, it's going to be some work to do this, but over time, as we start to do this, as soon as we have negative thoughts, those negative thoughts will start to become positive thoughts as we go through and tell ourselves those 3 things that we're good at. Those positive thoughts are going to lead to positive emotions. Those positive emotions over time are going to start to give us a positive self-construct. So the way we think about ourselves at an elementary level and deep inside, we want to start changing. So that's the way we start to think about ourselves on the outside starts to go on the inside, and then we start to believe positive things about ourselves instead of negative things. So the mind is a powerful thing. Let's be conscious about the way we think about ourselves, and I want you to start thinking about yourself in a positive way, and let's start to make ourselves mentally healthy as well. Thanks for watching.